Suppose if you take a regular polygon, like one square here, I connected a battery between two ends of this, two vertex of this polygon, that is square here. So I am connecting a battery here. Whatever the current that comes from the battery will be divided at this point. So let me take this as P, Q, R, S. So what is the magnetic field at the center of this square? If a battery is connected here without this, let us say if you connect a battery here, current will flow here. Already we discussed this in our previous class. But here, a battery is connected between two ends of or two vertices of a square. Then what is the magnetic field here? So this is the direction of the current here that is entering, and this is the direction of current that is leaving here. So here I am not showing the battery. So let us say this is connected somewhere. So these are the two terminals that I am taking. So if a battery is connected between these two and at a large distance. Now this wire is 1, this wire is 2. Due to the first wire, magnetic field here is 0, because if you extend this one, this will be on its axis 0. Similarly, if you extend this one, this is also on the axis 0. So what is the magnetic field due to this side and these three sides? So what I am going to write, I am going to remove this 1 and 2 here, because magnetic field due to this wire and this wire is 0. So the magnetic field due to blue color wires here is 0. So this is a blue color wire, this is another blue color wire. So due to these two blue color wires, magnetic field at the center O is 0. Now here, whatever the current that is given by the battery will be divided into I1 and I2. But what is the magnetic field at center O? First of all, what is the magnetic field due to this one? Let me find out. B1 is equal to this current mu naught I1 by 4 pi r sin alpha plus sin beta, as it is a finite wire. And if you extend this one, this will become 45 degrees. This is also 45 degrees. So B1 is given by mu naught I1 by 4 pi. Let the side of this one, let me take it as A. So this will be A by 2. This will be A by 2. This is sin 45, that is 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2. So this will be, now if you cancel these two, this will become mu naught I1 by 2 pi A. This is 2 by root 2 or simply root 2. So this is mu naught I1 by root 2 pi A, equation 1. But what is the direction of the magnetic field due to this wire at this point? As the current is flowing in this direction, the field is outwards. So here the field is outwards. So this is equation 1. Now whatever the magnetic field due to this wire, first, second, third, due to this section of this square. So I am going to write with the blue color one. So this is B2 is equal mu naught I2 by 2 pi r sin 45 plus sin 45 into 3. Because this is the magnetic field due to one side of the square, but I want to take this side plus this side. So this B2 will become mu naught I2 by 4 pi A by 2. This is sin 45 plus sin 45, 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2. Directly I can write root 2 here. So this is root 2 into 3. So you can cancel these two. This will be 3 root 2 mu naught I2 by 2 pi A. But what is the direction of current here? It is going up here. Due to this field is inside. Due to this field is inside. So for all these magnetic fields are acting inside. So this is equation 2. So what is the net magnetic field at point O? This field is acting outwards, this field is acting inwards. So net field at point O is given by, so B net is given by B1 plus B2. That is magnetic field due to the first part of this one and the second part of this one, B1 plus B2. What is B1? This is the formula. So I am going to write mu naught I1 by root 2 pi a plus 3 root 2 mu naught I2 by 2 pi a. Here you can cancel root 2 and root 2. You can directly write 3 root 2 mu ia. But the condition is this field is acting outwards. So here I am going to write this is outwards and this is inwards. But what is the relation between I1 and I2? Here you can see mu naught root pi a is common. So I am going to write mu naught by root pi a common. Remaining terms I1, this is 3I2. But I1 is acting, this means this magnetic field is acting into this one and this is acting outwards. So finally what we can write? We can write like this, I1 minus 3I2. Because one field is acting outwards, one field is acting inwards, we have to subtract these two. So I am subtracting these two now. Now the relation between I1 and I2. You see this diagram, if you take that square here, this is the square. The length of this one, let us say this is given as A. And this is also A. And the battery is connected between these 2 points. Now, this current I am denoting it as I1, this current I am denoting it as I2. As these 2 points are connected, these 2 currents divides according to the resistors. So, this first wire, this one between P and S, PS wire and PQRS wire, PQRS wire. Both are connected parallel to the battery, because whatever the current that comes here, it will divide into 2 parts here. So it is dividing. Whenever current divides, we can say this and this are connected in parallel. So potential across PS and potential across PQRS are equal. So as the potential equal, I can write I1 R1 is equal I2 R2. So I am going to write I1 as it is I1 only. But what is R1? Resistance of the wire between S and P and S. So this is the resistivity, let us say, of this wire is rho. Length of this wire from here to here A. Area of cross section not given, let us say it is A, capital A. Similarly, I2 into what is the resistance of this wire? You can see this wire length is L, this wire length is 3A or 3L. If it is A, this is 3A. So we can write rho into 3A is the total length of this wire by total area of cross section A. You can cancel this and this, this and this. And even A and A get cancels. So I1 is equal 3I2. This is the relation between these two. So now you can replace I1 with 3I2. So this will become mu naught by root 2 pi a 3I2 minus 3I2. Why? Because I1 is equal to 3I2. So this will become 0. So the net magnetic field at the center when the battery is connected here is 0. If you take a square here, if you connect a battery between this end and this end, here also the main current is I. This current will divide into I1 and I2. What is the magnetic field at the center of this square? It is very simple. Here the length of this one is A plus A, total length is 2A. Here also A plus A, total length is 2A. Resistance of this path depends on, resistance is equal to rho into length by area. So as the area of cross section of this one is same, and the length of the bottom portion as well as length of the top branch are equal, so we can write resistance in the upper arm is equal resistance of the lower arm. When the resistance are equal, these currents are also equal. So I1 is equal to I2. So what is the magnetic field due to this one at this point? Let us say magnetic field due to this one is B1. The magnetic field due to this one will become B2 because this depends on current and the distance of this one as well as this one and this one and this one. These are all same. So B1 is equal to B2. But B1, as the current is flowing like this and coming, B1 is into the board. So here B1 is acting into the board. B2 will act as the current is flowing out of the board. So both fields are equal in magnitude but acting opposite direction. The net magnetic field due to this one will be 0. Similarly, if you take one more square here like this, or a rhombus, what will be? Now, this is having more thickness than this part, and this is also having more thickness than this part. Now, if a battery is connected between these two, what is the magnetic field here? Here we can see, here the thickness is more, here thickness is less. Here thickness is less, here thickness is more. So, here the resistance of the wire in the upper branch must be equal to resistance of this one lower branch. So, I1 is equal to I2. Here also, I1 is equal to I2. B1 is equal to B2. One is into the board and one is out of the board. So, net magnetic field will be 0 in this case also. Similarly, suppose if the rod is connected here like this and one more rod is connected here like this, and now it is connected between the two terminals of a battery. Here also thickness is more here, less here. Thickness is more here, less here. So here magnetic field, current I1 and I2, once again as the resistance R1 is equal to R2 in the upper branch and lower branch. Current I1 is equal to I2, B1 is equal to B2, but B1 is acting into this one, B2 is acting outwards, net magnetic field at O will be 0. But remember students, if the upper branch has more thickness and the lower branch has less thickness, now if you connect a battery, now the magnetic field at the center will not be 0. Here B net is not equal to 0, reason being, here area is more, lengths are same, this length is A and A, total length 2A, this is also A and A, total length is 2A. The length of the square in the upper branch or the wires connected in the upper branch is equal to length of the wires connected in the lower branch. Both are same. If lengths are same but areas are different, here total area is more, here total area is less. More area means resistance in the first branch will be less than the resistance in the second branch. So when the resistance here is less, more current will flow and magnetic field due to this portion will be more here. Magnetic field due to this portion will be less here. So net magnetic field cannot be 0. Instead of these regular polygons, let me take a circular loop. So this is a circular loop and a battery is connected between this point and this point. Generally, for a circular loop, a battery, let us say it is connected exactly diametrically opposite corners like this. So let us say this is connected to a battery and current capital is entering here. The current will divide into I1 and I2. Similar to the previous case in case of a square, as the length of this path between PQR S. So the length of the path in the upper branch is PQR, length of the path in lower branch is PSR. So length in the first row or first path is equal to length in the second path. As it is made of same wire, area of cross section also same. So when length and area are same and this is made of same material, we know that rho 1 is equal to rho 2. So from this we can write R1 is equal to R2. Resistance of the path along PQR is equal to resistance of the path along PSR. When the resistance are equal and as is connected to the same battery, the currents will be equal. When the currents in the upper branch I1 is equal to I2, what is the magnetic field due to this one at the center? Magnetic field B1 is equal half of the mu naught I1 by 2r, B2 is equal semicircle half of mu naught 2 by 2r. But this is acting into this one. Magnetic field due to this current at this point here, this point O is into the board. Here magnetic field due to this current is outside the board. Now just now we found that I1 is equal to I2. So this and this, if you want to find out the net magnetic field, this is given by B1 plus B2. Now you can take mu naught by 4r, mu naught by 4r. So mu naught by 4r common, I1 minus I2. But you know I1 is equal to I2. So the net magnetic field in this case is also equal to 0. Now suppose if the battery is not connected between this point and this point, here the current will be divided equally. Now let me take one more case here in which the battery is connected between the these points, some 2 points of the circular loop. So this is the circular loop, and the battery is connected, let us say somewhere here, and it is connected like this. So what are the current that is coming here? Let us say this main current is I and this current is also I. This will be divided into I1 and I2. So what is the magnetic field at the center O? We know that magnetic field due to this wire at this point will be 0. Magnetic field due to this wire at this point is 0 because this point will be on the axis of these 2 straight wires. Now let me find out the magnetic field due to the upper portion and the lower portion. So let me take this path as 1, this path as 2. That is, let us say this is P, this is Q, R. So PQ is the upper path or upper branch. So we denote this as 1. And PRQ, this PRQ is the lower branch. I am taking it as a 2. So what is the magnetic field at the center here due to the splitting of current at this point? Now here what I am going to write. The length of this one between P and Q can be attained by drawing a diagram here by extending this one. This is the radius of this one. I am denoting this with R. So what is the magnetic field due to this current at this point? Magnetic field due to a complete circular loop at the center, magnetic field at the center is given by mu naught Ni by 2R. So what is the magnetic field due to a arc? Due to an arc, mu naught Ni by 2r into theta. Now here this is the theta. So what is the magnetic field due to this arc from between P and Q? So this is given by B1. I am going to write mu naught, as there is only one turn here, N will become 1. So mu naught I1 by 2r into theta. So B2 will become, the remaining angle is, this will be 2 pi minus theta. We can write mu naught I2 by 2r into 2 pi minus theta. But what is the direction of this magnetic field? Due to this current, field is into the board. So this is into the board. This is out of the board. Now here first let me find out the relation between I1 and I2, then I will substitute this one. So what is the net magnetic field at point O? B net. So we can write this as BO, which is equal to B1 difference B2. Why I am difference? Because one field is acting into the board, one field is acting outside the board. So I need to subtract these two. So B1 difference B2, directly we can write B1 minus B2. So first let me find out the relation between I1 and I2. As we know that this wire and this wire connected in parallel, the voltage across PQ is equal voltage across PRQ, which is equal to the potential of the battery that is connected across these 2 points. So when the potentials are equal, what I can write? Current in the upper branch, that is I1 into resistance in the upper branch R1 is equal I2 into R2. Now I1 into, what is the resistance of this one? We know that the radius of this one is R, angle theta. So this length will become L1 is equal to R theta. So I am going to write rho into L1 by A1 is equal I2 into rho into L2 by A2. As it is made of same material, the rho and rho get cancelled, cross section area will be same. So I1 into L1 is equal to R theta is equal I2 into, what is L2 here? L2 is radius into angle subscribed at the center. So this is R into 2 pi minus theta. He can cancel this R and R here. So I1 theta is equal I2 into 2 pi minus theta. So in place of I1, what you can write? I2 2 pi minus theta by theta. So you can substitute this one. So in place of I1, I am going to write I2 into 2 pi minus theta by theta. So this is actually equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now you can substitute that I1 value in this equation. So I am going to write B1 is equal to mu naught by 2R into I1 into theta minus mu naught into I2 by 2R into 2 pi minus theta. So now let me substitute I1 value here, because here I got the relation between I1 and I2. So I am going to write this as mu naught by 2R, mu naught by 2R here, mu naught by 2R here is common. So mu naught by 2R common. This will be I1 into theta minus I2 into 2 pi minus theta. So this will be mu naught by 2R. I1 is I2 into 2 pi minus theta by theta. So this will be I2 into 2 pi minus theta by theta into this theta will be can be written as theta only minus I2 into 2 pi minus theta. So you can cancel this theta and theta here. You can see this I2 2 pi minus theta minus I2 2 pi minus theta, both are equal. So the net magnetic field once again will become 0. So for any circular loop, if the wire is connected, battery is connected between any 2 points, the magnetic field at the center always becomes 0. If this is connected exactly opposite corners, magnetic field strength at center will become 0. If it is connected somewhere not opposite, diametrical opposite, then also the magnetic field at the center will become 0. Now not only this one, if you take any circular loop, if you connect the battery at any 2 points, the magnetic field at the center always 0. For example, if you take a circular coil here, 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 here. Now, if you connect this battery here, already we proved this magnetic field will be 0. Why? Because the current divides equally here. But here just now we proved this. If you connect a battery somewhere here and at the center, the magnetic field is 0. So we proved it. Now similarly, if it is connected somewhere here and the current is leaving here, a small arc here, then also the current relation will be similar to this one and the magnetic field at this point O will become 0. So for any circular loop, wherever you connect this wire here and here, here also as it is making some angle here, so this is always 0 here. So due to this, the magnetic field due to a circular loop, if a battery is connected at any 2 points on the circumference of the loop, at the center it is always 0. So magnetic field B net is 0. Either it is a regular polygon, whether it is a square, a triangle, a hexagon, any regular polygon. If battery is connected at any 2 points, either battery connected here or here, or battery connected here or here, if battery connected here or here, or even if it is connected between these 2 points also, at any 2 points, the magnetic field at the center is always 0. Now, here, a wire is bent like this, as shown in the figure. So this, let me take it as x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. So this wire which is bent in the form of semicircle here and two parallel wires kept in xz plane like this. Now what is the magnetic field at the center of this semicircular wire or portion? First of all, let me divide this into three parts. This is part 1, semicircle is part 2, and this is part 3. So magnetic field at O is given by magnetic field due to first portion, magnetic field due to second portion, magnetic field due to third portion. So what is B1? Here the current is entering like this. So the field at this point, this is at one end of this straight infinitely long wire only. So at one end, so I am going to write B1 is equal, what is B1? This is the magnetic field at one end of a infinitely long wire, which is given by mu naught I by 4 pi r sin 0 plus sin 90. Directly I can take it as 1. So no need to write 1 also. But what is its direction? As the current is flowing like this in this direction, the field at this point will be downwards. So it is y-axis. That field due to B1 will be downwards along a negative y-axis. So I can write this as a minus j cap. This is B1. Now what is B2? Magnetic field due to this half circle or semicircle which is given by mu naught I by 2r, where r is the radius of this one. Let me take it as r here. But what is the magnetic field here? As it is going in the clockwise direction, current is moving in the clockwise direction, field will be into this one, that is along negative z-axis, minus k cap, plus B3 is given by, here this is a straight conductor, I want to magnify to one end of this one. Due to this, here due to this field is downwards, here due to this also field is downwards, which is given by mu naught I by 4 pi r minus j cap only. You can see the vector form, this is minus j cap here. This is also minus j cap. But this is a minus k cap. Now I can add these two, as these two are acting in the same direction. So mu naught I by 4 pi r plus mu naught I by 4 pi r will become 2 mu naught I by 4 pi r, or mu naught I by 2 pi r minus j cap plus mu naught I by 2r minus k cap. In general, in competitive exams, the options will be given like this, or sometimes they may take mu naught I by 2r common. So if they take mu naught I by 2r common, then they can give this as 1 by pi minus j cap plus minus k cap. So they can leave this like this, or sometimes they may give only this also as one of the option. As j and k are vectors along y-axis and z-axis, the resultant of these two can be given as, the magnitude of B is given by, as it is j cap, this is y-axis, this is plus j, and this will be minus j. So one field is acting downwards, one field is into, as these two are perpendicular here, j downwards, k inwards. So the resultant will be like this, root over this square plus this square, that is mu naught I by 2 pi r whole square plus mu naught I by 2r whole square. By simplifying this equation, you will get the resultant magnetic field at this point. Generally, the options will be given in terms of vectors only, but if they want the magnitude, you can go till this step, or you can simplify this equation. Now, in the second problem also similar to this one only, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. A wire is bent like this, infinite wire, so it is going like this, it is parallel to x-axis, then this is in y x plane only, then this wire is along z axis. So first, once again let me divide this into part 1, part 2, part 3. So magnetic field at center O is given by sum of the magnetic field, that is B1, B2, B3. So what is B1? Magnetic field at one end of a fine infinite wire. So similar formula, mu naught I by 4 pi r. One angle will be 0, other angle will be 90. So this will be 1. And how it is acting? As the current is flowing, this is into, this is outwards. So this field will be outwards. This is the first field. Now what is the magnetic field due to semicircular wire at this end? Here current is flowing like this, field is outwards. So this is mu naught I by 2r outwards plus, now due to this wire actually it is shown along z axis, but this is x axis, y z axis, this wire is like this. So I want a magnetic field here at one end of infinite wire. So this will also mu naught I by 4 pi r. And what is this direction? As the current is flowing like this, the field is in this direction. So here current is flowing like this, at point where field is along negative x-axis. So this is, I am going to write this as negative x-axis is given by minus I cap. This field which is acting like this, here it is towards z-axis. So this outside or in terms of the vectors, you can write k cap here, and this is also k cap only. So you can see these two are acting in the same direction, but this is acting in the opposite perpendicular direction to this one. So this first field, second field acting like this, third field is acting in this direction. So you can add these two as both are acting in the same direction. Mu naught I by 4 pi r, mu naught I by 2r. So you can write mu naught I by 4 pi r. This is 1 plus, here you can write mu naught 4 pi r. So here you can write 2 pi, you can multiply these two, 2 pi means 2, you will be get 2 here. So this is k cap. So this is the first portion, plus the second part is mu naught I by 4 pi r minus I cap. So this is the expression that we have to use to represent, to give the answer. So this is also in vector form. Similarly, what about the third one? Similar to these two models. So suppose if they was to find out the net magnetic field, magnitude of this one, you can use, it is I cap, this is k cap, both are perpendicular. So root over mu naught I by 4 pi r, 2 pi plus 1 whole square, plus this is mu naught I by 4 pi r whole square. Now see the third one. So this is x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. This is current I going like this. What is the magnetic field here? So magnetic field at point O is B1 plus B2 plus B3. So what is B1 here? This point O is on the axis of this straight wire. So B1 must be equal to 0. So what is B2? 1/4 of the circle. So you can write mu naught I by 2r. But what is this direction? So here current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction. Field will be along z-axis. So as it is a positive z-axis, we can write k cap plus the third one. Here this wire is parallel to z-axis. So current is flowing like this at point O. So we should not take like this, because this point is below this wire. This wire is somewhere here. The wire is placed somewhere here. In the diagram it is shown like this, but actually it is perpendicular to y-axis along z-axis. So here current is flowing like this. I want magnetic field at a point below this wire. So while keeping the right hand also, current in the direction of the thumb, and field is in this direction. So here field is along x-axis. So I can write this as mu naught I by 4 pi r into, along x-axis I can write I cap. So you can write this as mu naught I by 8r k cap. This is mu naught I by 4 pi r I cap. So now based on these two, this is k cap This is I cap. Now, once again, I and K, I is along x-axis, K is along z-axis. As two fields are acting, one along x-axis, one along z-axis, the resultant will be given by the diagonal drawn from this one, or by using the parallelogram law of vector addition to find out the magnitude here, magnitude of BO, we can square these two, root over B1 square plus B2 square, or mu naught I by 8R whole square, mu naught I by 4 pi R whole square. This is the magnitude of this magnetic field at center O. One more problem. This is a plane sheet. Let me take this as x-axis and this as a y-axis, and the point of origin of these two will be somewhere, that is the origin. But I want a magnetic field at the center of this one. This is not I am denoting with V, O, I am denoting this with O here. I want a magnetic field here. This blue color one is the current carrying wire. Now, here the length of this one from this to this point is R. So radius of this one is also R. So what is the magnetic field here at point O due to this arrangement? So this is the first portion, second portion, third portion. So magnetic field at O is given by magnetic field due to first one, magnetic field due to second one, magnetic field due to third portion. So what is the magnetic field here? Here current is flowing like this into negative z-axis. The field will be downwards, negative y-axis. So this will be mu naught I by 4 pi R into, this is the magnitude of this one, and its direction is along a negative y-axis. So this I am going to write minus j here. Now what is B2? B2 is 3/4 of the circumference of a circle. So I am going to multiply this with 3/4 of the mu naught I by 2R. But what is this direction? Here current is flowing in clockwise direction. The field will be into, that is a negative z-axis. So I am going to write this as negative z-axis. So minus K cap plus the third portion of this wire is along z-axis. In the diagram it is shown like this. Actually this is coming like this along z-axis. When the current is coming in the along z-axis, the field at the center above the wire, this is the point here. So above the wire, this is along negative x-axis. So here I come to write mu naught I by 4 pi R into, this is the wire that is carrying current which is along z-axis, and above the wire point O, this is about negative x-axis. So minus I cap. You can see three different fields are acting in three different directions. Here when the current is entering into this one, right side of this two wire, the field is acting downwards, negative y-axis, negative z-axis, negative x-axis. So we cannot add them directly. Why? Because in the previous case at least two are acting in the same direction. As these three are acting in three different directions, first we need to find the common values here. So what are the common values? Mu naught I is common, R is also common. You can write mu naught I by, I am going to take 2 pi R common. So what are the remaining terms? The first one will be minus j cap. The second one you can write mu naught I 4R 3 by 2 pi. So I can write this as a 3 by 2 pi into minus k cap, plus the third one is mu naught I by 4 pi R as it is, but the only thing is the vector here minus I cap. So this is the magnetic field at point O. If you want to find out the direction, so you can take this common, this square plus this square plus this square, you will get the net magnetic field or magnitude of this one. Now in the second, this problem, in the second diagram here, the internal radius is R1, the external radius is R2. What is the magnetic field at the center? So you can start from any point. Let me take this as A. point A. So this is a subtending angle theta here. So what is the magnetic field due to this portion at this point? Magnetic field due to complete circular center is given by mu naught I by 2r. Magnetic field due to an arc is given by mu naught I by 4 pi r into theta. If theta is 360 degrees, 2 pi get cancelled, we get the same value. Now here this is the first arc, arc 1, this is arc 2, this is arc 3, arc 4, arc 5, arc 6, arc 7, arc 8. We have 8 different arcs. In that one, 2, 4, 6, 8 are having same radii, and 1, 3, 5, 6 are having different radii here. But what about these straight wires? At the point O lies on the axis of this one. Straight wires will not contribute any magnetic field at center O. Here in this one, straight wires will not contribute any magnetic field at center O, as this point O lies on the axis of the straight wires. So I am not mentioning that one, but the magnetic field due to straight wires in this diagram will be 0. So what is the net magnetic field here? The net magnetic field is given by B1 arc, B second arc, B third, B4, B5, B6, B7, B8, because 8 arcs are there. In that 1, 3, 5, 7 are similar. 1, 3, 5, 7 are similar, and 2, 4, 6, 8 are different. So what I am going to write? So I am going to this as 4 into B1, B3, B5, B7 is almost all are equal. So 4 times of magnetic field due to big arc plus 4 times the magnetic field due to small arc. So what is the magnetic field here? The magnetic field due to big arc is given by arc formula mu naught I by 4 pi r. So I am going to substitute mu naught I by 4 pi. The bigger arc has radius r2. So I am going to write this as r2 into, what is this angle? Here it is given as theta. So directly I am going to write this as theta only, plus B4 into, now I am going to write small arcs, 4 into mu naught I by 4 pi r1 into this angle also theta, as this is also subtending the same angle here, because it is divided into 8 equal parts. So all angles will be equal. So now what is common here? You can cancel this 4 and 4, 4 and 4 here. This will become mu naught I by pi common, theta also common, 1 by r2 plus 1 by r1 into theta. Now this will be mu naught I by pi, this is r1 r2, this is r2 plus r1 into theta. If you know that theta value, you can find B at the center O by using this concept. Now you have to substitute this theta value and r1 r2 value to find out the magnetic field at center O due to this arrangement. Now see this last problem. I need to find out magnetic field at point P1 and another point P2. This P2 is the perpendicular bisector of this one, angle theta. Now to find out this one, here angle theta is given. Just extend this wire and join this point with this one. Now let me take, this will become theta here, as it is opposite angles, these two will be equal. Now to find out magnetic field due to this one, this is first wire, this is second wire, because say this is the wire here, this is the current carrying wire which is bent in this form. Now what is the magnetic field due to this one at this point? So B1 is 0 as this point P1. So first I am finding magnetic field at P1. So at this point the point is lies on the axis of this straight wire. So magnetic field due to first part is 0. Now magnetic field due to second part here, because this point is outside the range of this wire. So first this, let me take it as the distance R1 here. First, now if you want to find out magnetic field due to a finite wire, infinite wire, if you want to find magnetic field here at a distance R, you need to join this as alpha, this as beta. So if it is current carrying conductor. Now here also I want to, this is the point P. Now I want to find magnetic field here. So join this one and this one. As it is infinite, this angle alpha will become 0. So I am going to write magnetic field at point P due to the second part B2, that is magnetic field due to second part of this wire, which is given by mu naught times the current by 4 pi r into, if you join this point with the other end of the wire, this will become sine 90 plus the other angle is, now I need to measure angle from here to here. That means if you join this P1 with the other end, this angle will be 90. What is the other angle? I need to measure from here to the other side. So I need to take from here to here. So let us say this angle here is, let me take it as beta. So this is 360 minus beta. So I am going to write sine 360 minus beta. So this is the expression. Now let me simplify this one. B2 is equal to mu naught times of I by 4 pi R1. R1 is the distance from this point to the line joining this or extended wire here, into sine 90 is 1. Sine 360 minus beta will be minus sine beta. Now, but in the diagram, in the problem, only theta is given. So I need to replace beta with theta. So this I can write mu naught times of I by 4 pi. Even I need to replace R1 because R1 is the assumed value. So now from this I can write sine theta is equal to R1 by A. In place of R1 I can write A sine theta into, this is 1 minus cos B. So I can write 2 sine square B by 2. Now this 2 and 2 get cancels. This will become mu naught I by 2 pi a sine theta into, this theta is known value, but what is this beta? So here also I can write beta plus theta is 90. Beta plus theta is 90. In place of beta you can write 90 minus theta. So before writing this one, 1 minus sine beta. So let me divide this as, let me convert this as 1 minus sine of 90 minus theta. So this is a sine 90 minus theta will become cos theta. So let me use this one as 4 cos 1 minus sine 90 minus theta cos theta. So 1 minus cos theta. So I am going to write mu naught I by 4 pi a sine theta. This is 2 sine square theta by 2. 2 get cancelled. So I can write mu naught I by 2 pi a. This is sine theta. You can write 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. So I am going to write this as 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. This is sine square theta by 2. Once again you can cancel this sine theta by 2 and sine theta by 2. So here we have 2 plus 2 4. 2 into 2 4. This will become mu naught I by 4 pi a sine theta by 2 by cos theta by 2, which you can write this as tan theta by 2. Now I got B1, which is 0, B2. Now what is the net magnetic field at point P1? The net magnetic field at point P1, net B at point P1 is given by B1, I am writing, or P1. Add this to, as it is 0, you can neglect this one. Second one, mu naught times of current by 4 pi a tan theta by 2. Remember students, always we need to get the final expression in terms of the given values. Here R1 is assumed value, beta also assumed value. Never give this value in terms of beta or R1. Always try to give the value in terms of the given data in the problem.